Did y'all used to switch classes?
Shit, yeah, that was 20 years ago. Yeah, hell yeah.
Y'all used to switch classes on boys?
High school, we took all the same classes. It's just something to do. That shit was just something to do, man. We had to like
see if y'all get away with it.
Yeah, man, we got away with all that shit.
That was easy work.
Yeah, that was so long ago.
What's the wildest, if you could say, the wildest switch off y'all pulled? Whether it be in the classroom, in sports, in life, anywhere else.
It's gotta be in life, but it ain't appropriate for the cameras.
That right there is why some of y'all shouldn't have access to microphones. We tell y'all all the time, stop getting on podcasts and talking too damn much.
Oh, man. Hey, you know, they say that about us. They say, hey, we get that probably like every other week. Like,
yeah,
y'all shouldn't have microphones.
Bruh, it's like, damn, bruh, y'all felt like, dude, you can't do that.
You can't,
You can't allude to rape on a podcast. Because that's exactly what it is. I don't know. You know what? I believe, now mind you, I love the show. I believe Law and Order SVU should be mandatory for all parties involved in life, male and female or non-binary. Everybody should have to watch it. But it is, you know, I don't know. And I don't want to.
I mean, but he didn't say it. He just alluded to it.
You can't allude to rape, though.
So he said it wasn't appropriate. So we don't know what it is, right?
Yeah, so that's the saving grace. That's why I let it rock for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, he could be referring to anything. Right? But we know what we are all thinking.
Yeah.
So and you know, and again, you know, it goes back. We did this years ago. I don't know if you remember it. Like, you know, men need to understand that consent is sexy, and men need to understand what dubious consent is, right?
Yeah, Derrick Rose.
Make sure that they get a full understanding.
That nigga Derrick Rose
of what's going on. And I mean, honestly, we don't talk about it a lot, and there's a double standard between, you know, men dubious consent and women dubious consent. You know, there's been a lot of men, and again, we talked about this years ago, and it might be one of the clips that we deleted because our production wasn't, you know, amazing back then.
Wow, shots at me. You lucky I ain't get the gunshots on my shit. God dang.
I mean, dude, comparatively speaking, I mean, come on, man, are you really gonna say that shit not better now?
He said I shit look like.
I just said, like, you know, like, yo, it's like once we saw where we were like,
absolutely,
we were like, well, damn, let's get rid of some of this.
Yeah, delete that.
So, I mean, you know, consent is sexy. Men need to understand that.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Black Dads Club.
Welcome to the Black Dads Club. And you know what? Sometimes you gotta let content live on the internet, and sometimes you gotta act like you don't see it. Such as that, such as Derrick Rose, such as the Brick Lady, I'm telling y'all, every 3 days I get on the internet and I type in hashtag Brick Lady to see where we at. And I do laugh because a couple weeks ago or last week I put it on my Facebook like, yo, whatever happened? And people was telling me, black women was saying, yo, I'm tired of hearing about this lady. I'm like, no. I believe that black men are owed an apology, and we're gonna get to black men and they need desires and never going to get apologies.
Yes.
But black men are still owed an apology for Jussie Smollett.
Yes.
From him. They are still owed an apology for Jonathan Majors, who broke up that fake ass fight at that high school.
Yes.
And for the Brick Lady.
Yes.
And it was something else. Oh, well, they didn't blame us for Carly Russell. They did. They tried to say we didn't care. That's why we didn't post about it.
I'm about to say they said that we didn't care, and it was just like,
look at us wanting the authorities to do their job. God, well,
but I mean, also, like, you know, on a more serious tip, right? People were saying that, like, this was not black women, so don't think I want y'all thinking that we take a shot.
We love y'all.
It was the other side of the internet, the male side, and they were saying like, "Yo, why are y'all not, you know, up in arms about Tyree Nichols?" And, you know, we had to remind them, well, y'all arrested the cops in like a week.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like that's all we're asking for.
Yeah.
Right? That's all we're asking for is for you to do your jobs, right?
Absolutely.
We're only getting upset when you don't do your job. So,
and and shout out to the white folks that was on Twitter. I don't know if you saw, but like 2 teenagers who were saying the N-word ran over a old man in Vegas. Like, he was jogging and they were just causing havoc in the street. So they saw him, they pointed him out, they ran him over, and they killed this old man. And they recorded the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? This is Gen Z, by the way. This ain't us. This ain't the millennials.
That is crazy.
And bro, all the politicians, the white ones, the mayonnaise was, as Charlamagne like to say, was heavy, right?
Yeah.
And they were going in on, you know, black people represent 13% of the country, and black people are responsible for 60% of the crime, and whatever, just to find out, because they were saying the N-word a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Just to find out they was white Mexicans I'm gonna leave it at that. And you know, the lady, I was about to call her a sister, but she's not. The lady, she lucky I don't have her name, man. She's a representative. I forgot where she's from. Even when somebody wrote in the comments, say, hey, we're in Vegas, you're wrong. These people are white Hispanics.
Yes.
Her next tweet was about how black people are criminals.
Yeah, and again, y'all, so it goes back to what I always say. I mean, last week episode, right? Mm-hmm. Stop expecting an apology, right? Stop expecting people to give you credit, right? And not blame you and not make you the whipping boy. And then the second part of that, I've been saying this for a while now, like, yo, we do have to separate ourselves. We are at that period. Like we are at that period where we have to separate ourselves from those who don't like us, those who look like us but don't like us. Like it's a time it is time to put yourself to where you have your new community of blacks.
Shout out to Ryan and Ben. Let me put it like this. I've come to realize, dang, I don't want to skip to this part, but I'm no longer associating with men who don't get laid. I'm done. It's official. It's a wrap. It's no longer happening.
Where is this going? Where did this come from without identifying someone specific?
No. Part of my self-reflection that we're gonna get to on the pod, but like I realized like somewhat there. I start looking at and we can start there, but we'll go into the rest of it. Me and my wife had a great conversation this past week, and she told me some things and we were talking, and I looked at her. Somehow the conversation got into people who I no longer speak to, right?
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, well, deep down, I know why everybody who don't like me. Look, if you are out there in this world right now and you have an issue with me, if I don't know why, I think we're friends. And I will post you and I will be funny to you in the comments because I think we're friends and you actually mad at me. Right. So, and we went into one person in particular, and I was telling her like, hey, I understand why this man dislikes me, or why it could be perceived that he dislikes me. And I've come to realize maybe me as a man have created spaces where people are not comfortable with sharing their feelings with me. And I don't want to serious the pot out in the first 10 minutes. But,
Yeah.
But that was
hang in there, guys. We're gonna get funny.
Yeah, but
hang in there.
So we here, so we just skip past this. But anyway,
no. Let's go with it though, because again, that goes into last week's episode, because people think that like men do not share feelings with other men,
and so like it was interesting of like telling her that, and I was like, I think I've created spaces because I am very keen on. I hate pity parties. That's just me in general, right? Like if you want to have a pity party, I am not the person to call. I'm not the person to pour it into, because I will change the subject as soon as you're done. One part of that is I don't ask questions ever. Yeah. If you tell me, hey, bruh, I got fired, and I'm not finna ask you why, what happened, I'm gonna say, okay, cool. What you want to do after this? Like I don't know why I'm like that, but I was telling her, I said, I think I've created that. Now, two things. Shout out to my wife for listening, not interrupting, and not offering solutions or pushback, because I think it was just a time for me to vent, right? Yeah. Do not believe that bullshit tweet that's on the internet like black men vent to your women or vent to women. You better vent to yours, and you better hope she like mine. Yeah. So but we had a great conversation, and the funnier part is I wrote bruh the next morning. Yeah. And I apologized. I said, look, I don't know why we not speak. I said, I know why we're not speaking, and I understand how it could be perceived. I just want to give you a heads up. I don't have no issues with you. So when I see you and I speak, it is what it is. Now, getting back to certain niggas I don't fuck with no more. Excuse my language. Y'all who do not get laid, I saw y'all at the Drake concert. We at the bar at the Drake concert, and I'm gonna get to the Drake concert last, bro. Later in the pod. But it's a girl. You know how you can look at a dude and his girl is expensive, and he look tired, and you know why? Because he just overworking. So she's short, and sis, if this clip finds you, I'm talking about you. You have my girl looking at you. I ain't never seen this where you got under boob and side titties, like, and she had a full covered shirt on, but you could just see the titty from the side and under. Short chick. Yeah, I like that shit. Yeah. She wasn't the shade you like.
Do not do that, because I take them in all shades. Right? So I have a preference of ice cream doesn't mean I don't like all ice cream.
But she was too light for your shade.
Okay, that's
so. But
She got that, but she's sexy though. Like that's when you do the side boob and the under boob. Like when you that type of woman, like I love a seductress.
She had the camouflage on. I'm letting her know she was in section 105. Sis, if you just want to know, using 105 or 104. She had
what kind of shoes she had? Like boots or like what was she wearing?
I was going there next. This bitch had on camouflage outfit and some Balenciaga sneakers. She had them joints on. But the thing is, it was a dude beside me because we in two different bar lines. This nigga had on like the khaki pants. He had the long sleeve business shirt rolled up, and I'm confused because I'm like, bro, the show at 8:00. You had time to go home and change. You chose to wear that shit, and he broke his neck. He 3 people behind him. He trying to catcall her when she with her man, and he look a mess. And her man,
shouldn't he be there with somebody?
He should have, but he looked like a loser. He was there with his boys. Then he called his boys, and they come up there and they drooling over her. And you could see her, like her man is looking straight at the bar. You see her, and she's kind of like, she sees them out of her peripherals, and she turns her back because she's clearly uncomfortable. I think me, the guy behind me, the girl in front of me was all uncomfortable with them catcalling a chick.
That's what I meant.
And I'm like, dude, y'all don't get laid?
I don't know. I mean, are you supposed to go to the Drake concert? I thought you were supposed to go to the Drake concert like on a date.
I'm going to talk to y'all about this Drake concert. But it was just like that. And then I look at, going back to the people who I don't talk to, I look at some of the photographers who don't like me no more. Them niggas don't get pussy, so I get it.
Well, a lot of men.
Photographers don't get pussy? Yes, that is true.
No. But it goes, we talked about this years ago. I mean, again, right? I think the rise of men that are virgins is actually higher than the rate of women that are virgins right now.
Absolutely, but some of these dudes have a "do not fuck me" sign on their forehead, and I was like,
they're lame. I mean,
they are. Say it. We got to start telling the truth.
I hate calling them lames because
y'all are losers.
Because the problem is that we are in a society that really it tells men to do one thing and then it wants something else, right? And that's kind of throwing men off, right? So it's like I hate calling them lames because a lot of them are doing what they think they're supposed to do, but it's like, like real talk, women don't like that shit, right? If you do this shit, like women don't like this shit.
Bro, photographers are the biggest as far as like, if you look at simps and you pull their occupation, photographer would be number one. Like I'm telling you that right now. Yes, bro. You should see them in photo groups, bro. They be in there drooling, trying to protect chicks who don't know their name. Like that's what type of time they on. So when I look at some of the photographers, I'm like, oh, well, he don't get laid. Oh, he ain't never got no ass.
But here's the thing. It's hard to land solid women if you're not a masculine man, right? And society kind of tells you the opposite, right? Society tells you, be this Gentile, soft, gentle giant, right? And then that's what, the lady's going to like. And like, that's really not what they like. Right? Because to go back to, the good guy, right? The good guy episode. That dude said everything that was right?
Poor guy.
Yeah, like
he like men though. I don't care what y'all say.
Allegedly, stop saying that about that man. But when you go through that comment section, right? Like not one chick, not one. It was thousands upon thousands of comments, right? And you couldn't find one where a woman was saying like, "Yo, I'd love to meet you and go out with you." I'm in. I think he was in the DMV. I'm in the DMV. Like they don't want that shit.
Nah, they
don't.
But
society tells you, right? Be this way, be this type of guy, and they're gonna no, they don't. They want the douche, they want the jerk, right?
Yeah,
they want because in their mind they're like, yo, I want to tame that guy.
Yeah, only Sierra is the only woman in history who's trying to convince us that Future was a great dad for 5 baby mamas and then was shitty to her and beyond. Like because that's what I'm being sold on the internet. Is that Sierra met Future. He was a great guy. She knew he was a great father. He had 5 baby mamas. He was great. And then suddenly a switch went off and he been shitty since her because it doesn't match up to the fact that he's always been a shitty baby dad, according to her. And she knew that and got pregnant by him. Like that's, that couldn't have never happened.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
We already know better. We know that we're being gaslit.
Yeah. And it's fine.
And to that point, right, to the brother, I hope he's listening, right? That made the comment. The one that was that commented the other day on the post where he was just like,
bring him up.
We need to stop denying our feelings.
Okay.
This is what's killing us. We need to teach each other that we have feelings too. And I was just like, okay, first off, on this episode, nobody discusses men feelings more than I, right? I'm always here and be like, yo, you're allowed to feel however the way you want to feel, right? But one of the things you know, when I had to take a highly suggested, you know, anger management course, one of the things that, you know, it was like, it's like, yo, understand why you feel the way that you feel, right?
Okay.
Like, what's the real emotion there? What's the true emotion there? And like, it's actually a little moniker. It's called, you got to name it to tame it, right? So if you're upset, and I do this all the time, right? Like if I get angry, right? If I start feeling that, I'm like, well, all right, what do I really feel, right? And most of the time it's disappointment. Right. Most of the time when I figure out like when I'm really upset, it's like, yo, I'm disappointed in whoever I'm interacting with. Right. And then once you identify that a few times, typically you're like, yo, how many times am I gonna let this person disappoint me? Right. And what it does is just, it makes you make a decision in that instead of reacting to it. Right. You're making yourself make a decision. And like my brother, he didn't like the clip where I had posted where I was like, yo, men do got to get back to being more stoic and becoming pillars of strength. Right. That requires you to become a pillar of strength, means that requires you to be healthy yourself. And this is the shit. Like, I hate when someone just takes a clip, and I get it. The C and D students are on the internet too. I get it. So
Facts. God dang it.
So when I post a clip, right, and there's no context, right, like there's no pillar of strength if that pillar is crumbling or cracking, or if it hasn't cured properly, right? Like, to become a pillar of strength means that you and yourself would have to be healthy. And when I tell men to be stoic, because society wants to make men softer, right? Like, they create stoic as if it's this thing where you have to endure and not acknowledge. And it's like, yo, that's not what stoicism is. And I'm gonna read something to you guys. And y'all know I do this from time to time because I actually do have a degree in this, and I did grow up around this. So, you know, I already know it's coming, right? Go ahead. And it says, not that I speak in respect of one. I have learned in whatsoever state I am in, therewith to be content. I know how to be abased. I know how to be abound. Everywhere in all things I am instructed, both to be full and hungry, both to be abound and suffer. I don't see your shop.
This is the only reason why I wanted to learn to play instrument church, because I always wanted to do like a break. Yeah, but go ahead.
And what that means, fellas, it means that it's going to fall on you, right? This is Paul saying that, you know what? No matter what's going on, I have to press forward. Like, one of the things that Paul used to always say, right? I have to press towards the mark, right? So no matter how bad things are, I have to press, because everything that's going to be accomplished, it falls on me. And sometimes you guys are so esteemed, you know, in your want for likes, that you don't even realize that what you're saying is harmful. Because what my man told me was, right? What my man right here said to me was, he said, what did he say?
Which one?
Hold on. I'm gonna go to it. All right. I once again ask you to review your wording, because what you have said is right back into ignorance. Please, as one man who works in faith to another, examine what you say and understand the true implications and the dangers of it. And what I'm going to say here is that you men are the danger. You soft life, soft ass, don't really ever want to stand on anything. Black men are the danger to the community. I'm not the danger to the community. I'm not the danger when I'm telling men that, you know what, though? You're going to have to learn to control your emotions. You're going to have to learn that it all falls on you. When you saying that, like, yo, no, people get an opportunity to sit there and understand anything. How much longer do Kirk Franklin have to sit here and wonder if he's ever going to be told the truth by his mom? He's been waiting 50 years, right? He doesn't have any more time to wait.
Nah.
He's one of the most important men on the planet. He has to stand and live in that shit.
Yeah. You know what's weird is going back, so I'm no longer talking to men who don't get laid. And from here on out, when a man decides to debate me, I'm gonna ask him who raised him. Mike ain't gonna say it, because certain shit Mike can't say, because, you know, whatever. Me, if you don't know your dad, didn't meet him, didn't hang out with him, didn't whatever, bro, we cool. Like, I just can't. Because some of y'all, like, you know, I got in an argument with a guy on Instagram, Facebook a couple months ago, and he said, y'all, I think I brought this up. He said, y'all the men that Tupac was talking about that don't love the women. And I'm like, well, and I wrote, well, they was raised by single moms. And the kickback from black women on there, and I get it, as you supposed to kick back. But then when we start having honest conversations,
Yeah, I mean, a
Then we
lot
get to
of
talk
men
about-
have not. To your point, right? You know, I mean, we say it slickly on here, right? Like a lot of y'all got your granddad's last name instead of your dad's last name, right? So a lot of your behaviors, you know, is coming from a way older, you know, male and your mom instead of a younger male and your dad. And look, here's the thing. Men are important in relationships, and they're so important, right? Like you if you look throughout the animal kingdom, right? In a lot of places, if you take out that male element, right, like the juveniles will become wild and rampant, and they'll forget what responsibilities that they have to do. Humans are no different. So when we look at situations, right, and look, 2-parent homes can create a child. That's not a great child.
Oh, I know a bunch of
Right.
shit niggas who got 2 parents.
but we know to the contrary, right? If a man stays in his child life, the impact that he can have. So, and we're not even saying like stay married per se, as much as we're saying like, yo, how about if you don't want to marry a woman, right? Why would you want to have children with that woman, right? Like, how selfish is it to remove, you know, the responsibility that you have to that child's mother, you know, and have a child, right? Like, that's all we're saying. It's like, yo, be more accountable, be more responsible. You men, you can't have feelings. I watched this clip. I watched this clip probably like a week or so ago, and in one of the clips, the guy said, he's saying all the right things, right? He was like, yo, men should be able to, you know, confide in one another and hug one another and, you know, hold hands if we have to, and kids. And he was saying all these things that, you know, like on the surface, it was like, okay, that's all well and good, right? Like culturally, you know, maybe we don't do that in our culture, and we should be able to do that, right? Sounds good, right? So I was talking to, you know, like my homegirl, and I was talking to like a chick I was dating, and I was just like, hey, I was like, you know, so I said we're on the couch, right? Me and you, we cuddled up, we hugged up. And I was like, you know, one of my homeboys called me, right? You know, Gav calls me, right? And I answer the phone, and like Gav is crying. And he's like, Mike, I need you to come over here and just hold me, man. You know, and I was like, okay, you know, I'm on my way, right? And then I hang up the phone. I was like, how does that make you feel, right? Like as a woman sitting there, right? Like, how does that make you feel, right? And like both of them was like, yeah, I don't really like how that makes me feel, right? So I was like, so here's another example of us being told to do the right thing, right? But God forbid you actually fucking do it, because they're gonna be like, not my guy. Yeah. Another guy can go and do that, but not my guy.
Bruh. It's super interesting, man. And before we get to this next one, I guess with me, I think what bothered me with that clip was all we were saying is if you're waiting on a thank you and apology, you are wasting your time.
Yes.
Because more than likely it's not going to come. And I think a lot of people, I think that guy missed that. And I think he missed your point of like, you know, yo, there's certain traumas that we all go through, and you do have to put a stop with that, whether it's therapy, whether it's just making a cold cut decision like I can't do this. My dad told me, he said, I refuse. He said, when stuff got dark with me and your mom, I refuse to leave, because that single, like that men leaving their wife and kids, that shit stopped with me.
Yes.
And sometimes you got to do that. Like, you know, I grew up in a weird situation because I thought that my dad's, my dad was raised by his grandmother and mom, right? Yeah. And so I only met my grandfather one time. And so I grew up thinking for the longest that my dad just never knew his dad because he never spoke about him, blah, blah, blah. And then I figured out why later. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, but it was cool. And then my dad explained, nah, I took you to see him and we had, you know, whatever. But he was like, yo, like that stopped with me.
I'm about to say, and look at what your father did, right? Yeah. He became the pillar of strength. He was just like, yo, I'm not passing this along. Yeah, right? Absolutely. I'm going to be an example here. I'm going to stand in the fucking gap. I'm going to absorb. Like that wasn't easy for him. Nah. Just because he made it doesn't mean that like, yo, bro, that shit was easy.
I don't know why. And then some of y'all get in this part of, and we was talking about, you know, my favorite Instagram pastor. Like some of y'all shoot bail to the other communities. Yes. And in shooting bail to the other communities, you make sure you shit on black men in the process. And that forever would be weird to me.
It's crazy.
Another thing that's weird to me is the old men are fighting. Whether it's Drake and Charlamagne, whether it's Stephen A. Smith and T.O. And I didn't even put T.O., I put Offset. but Offset and Nicki's husband.
Yeah.
What's up with the grown men fighting?
That is weird to me. So let's be clear. I am in my mid 40s. All right.
Okay.
If I say something here you don't like and it makes you want to fight me, do not come up on me. I am not going to fight you.
Mike isn't.
I am not going to fight you. And if you do want to escalate it, I am still not going to fight you, but I am going to escalate it way, way higher, which means that it's probably going to end very, very rapidly. I am too old to fight. I went to the playground with my son and tried to jump from like the little leaf petals that they have where you gotta have balance. Bro, I could barely do that anymore.
Facts.
All right, I don't have the balance to fight grown dudes. It could end badly. So I don't understand why these old men are trying to get in fist fights.
You know, the weird part about all of this to me is everybody got money. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's look at Charlamagne. You worth tens of millions of dollars, right? You look at Drake, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars. You look at Offset, he's worth about $30 million. Stephen A. Smith, you worth a couple $1 million. Nicki husband, bruh, you on the registry. You got to relax. But like,
he done ended back up on probation.
Yeah,
excuse me, he's on probation. He done ended back up on house arrest.
And it's
running your mouth.
Running your mouth. You got your boys running their mouth. Your boy, and this is my favorite thing. Y'all snitching, y'all doing this and that, right? But your boy is online releasing the text messages between him and Offset.
They talk about they snitching.
They threatening each other, and it's like
y'all snitching on y'all self. Like, no, look, the old guys wanted to get in the fight. Here's the thing, right? Because we don't really have true male leadership anymore, right? Men don't understand like how to disagree and then squash that shit and go and do business, right? Me and you was arguing this morning. We're not gonna say what we was arguing about. Right? Nah, but you know, we said we shot shots and then we like, all right,
gonna kill me.
I see it. Yeah.
No, sir.
And they were like, yo, you were like, all right, we'll see each other record an hour, right? Like, men don't understand like how to have, like, you have to be able to have a conversation with someone and disagree. And then like, yo, that's just the end of it.
It's the end of it,
man. Like, we don't have to pull up in front of each other's houses. We don't have to threaten each other.
And
what are y'all doing, man? Y'all 50.
And Stephen A. Smith and T.O., this is the weirdest disagreement ever. I do feel like, you know, I have my feelings about Stephen A. Smith, and we definitely know yours on this podcast. But to hear him sit down with Joe Budden and him be more natural, I kind of understand his mindset and logic on things. Not that I agree, but to see him, and you could hear the conversation, because I listened to that whole episode, so I knew what was going on. Yeah. Then for him to turn around and start just like, all right, now that I got it off there, I can now respond to my takes everywhere else. And you come out, you taking shots at Skip Bayless, and I love how Skip Bayless ain't talked about Stephen A. Smith or Shannon Sharp since they left. And I doubt he will, because he got more pressing things, because that show is trash. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Bro, that shit is so bad.
It is bad.
It is horrible.
It is bad.
Yo, Skip, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. It's either Keyshawn or it's Richard Sherman. You got to pick one. Michael Irvin ain't there. You could bring Michael Irvin on as like a Monday person.
Dude, real talk, it might be time for retirement.
For Skip?
Yeah, it might just be it, bro. Might be time to just travel.
If I'm Skip Bayless,
might just be time to travel.
I'm gonna keep it real. If I'm Skip Bayless, I gotta call Jalen Rose. I gotta make it shake. You need Jalen Rose, and because football season, you're already a few years after that. Football season, and basketball season, Jalen gonna be able to give you everything. You need Jalen Rose, and then when football season comes back around, you bring Keyshawn. Keyshawn, it is what it is. I mean, honestly, if you can get Warren Sapp on there, but he going to Colorado allegedly. So
yeah. Warren would be good on there, but I think he's going to Colorado. Yeah. Speaking of Colorado, hey. If you dish it, you got to be willing to receive it back. I wasn't upset with everybody going in on Deion. Yeah. And I think Deion is the perfect person to absorb that, because Deion more than likely is going to recruit and transfer portal his ass off. And y'all not going to want to deal with the Colorado Deion is going to have in 3 years, and I'm going to enjoy watching. I really, really am. This is about to be the UNLV of football. Yeah. I am looking forward to it. Not going to lie.
I'm gonna get this out the way. Damn, this is gonna be called Gavin Hating Podcast. Yo, to my HBCU family, I did not go to one, so I don't give a damn that y'all that's gonna be y'all first comment. Let's go ahead and do the 8 Mile and get that out the way. Y'all take on Deion Sanders is disgusting, and it's getting kind of weird at this point. I know y'all feel like Deion was everybody's dad, but he only got 2 sons and a daughter, I believe.
I don't even know. I don't know.
He got a couple kids. He only got three or four
Actually,
kids.
I think he has 2 sons, 2 daughters.
Okay.
I think he has like an older. He has the older son that runs the social media. I think he has a daughter that's right behind him,
And then
he has the 2 young sons, then another daughter. So he got 5 kids.
All right, Deion got a couple kids, a handful of kids.
Yeah.
It ain't y'all schools. All right. He wasn't y'all saviors. I know that bullshit they tried to feed y'all. They fed y'all the Pop Warner speeches of, this man he's leaving us. No. He's not your dad. You got to stop.
HBCUs. And here's the thing. I wish I finished that one.
Me too.
I finished at a PWI. And in retrospect, I wish I would have went. I mean, hell, we're fucking alumni.
Yeah.
Of the same college. And in retrospect, I think we both wish we went up the road, right? So it's like, I get it, right? But like Deion didn't leave Jackson State. Deion did a lot for Jackson State and moved on from it. And here's the thing, I hope a lot of these athletes start at the smaller schools and then move up to the bigger schools. I think it's the one place we don't have, like, we talked last week about the music industry, right? How we created all the music and we don't own anything, right? You know, we don't have any of the patents to any of the projects and things that we created. A lot of land was stolen from us. I really think that this is an opportunity with the largest sport in the country to get former athletes to these schools and then bump them up to D1 programs and create wealth in our community that way. I actually think it's a good idea.
Well, the problem is like, you talk to HBCU grads who are casual football fans and they don't get it. They don't see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
They don't see the real money. Like, I look at Jackson State, who's building buildings based off of the work Deion did for the past 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they get that. We talk about an Alabama that brings in $100 million a year in football revenue, right? And then you turn around, you look at basketball, and the highest school is Duke, and they doing 27, 30 million. There's a difference here. So when I look at, my thing is always is, if I'm 17 and a coach comes to me and say, hey, do you want to save your community? And Clark Atlanta is flooding, or do you want to go to Tennessee? Is no comparison here.
There's no comparison, just for the simple fact, one is Division I and one is
not
whatever.
I don't even think they got a team.
Division II.
Like, it's tough to do those things. And so when you talk to people, I'm looking at, so my thing is, if Don Staley would say, hey, she's at a PWI, but let's say she left Allen down the street across the corner, you know what I'm saying, and went to
South Carolina,
then nobody ain't saying nothing. So I really do believe, what I'm basically trying to get at, if Deion was a black woman, we wouldn't be having these conversations.
Ooh.
And I think that's why he getting so much hate. Ooh. And it's just weird to watch HBCU grads do this, because like you said, I go to FAMU, I play ball, I ball out. Now let's say we got a Georgia Tech, or we got a Chapel Hill, or we got a
real talk. What you just said, if that was a sister going up to a higher college, the celebration that would be behind it, would be ridiculous. No, absolutely. I didn't even consider that.
Like, and it's just weird to me. Another thing that's weird to me. Oh well, shit. This, I didn't put this on the page. Mike want to talk about black female rap artists.
No, so here's the thing, right?
Talk about throwing your co-host under the bus.
I know, right? Throwing me directly up under the bus, right? Like a 50-mile-per-hour bus. No, so here's the thing, right? I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was just like, because we were discussing whether or not Sexy Red, Ice Spice, and who's the other? Suki, right? Like, if they're industry plants. And I was like, I was like, all right. I was like, let me dig into it a little bit, right? Like, let's look at like when women rap music start taking off. Now, the conversation came from the fact that Ice Spice was hanging out with Doja Cat, right? Now, everybody knows that Doja Cat is problematic, right?
Fact.
Very, very problematic. Like,
I don't think everybody know. Well, they turn a blind eye.
Well, yeah, they do. They do turn a blind eye, right? And I was just like, why would you put Ice Spice, who's clearly been positioned by the urban community upwards, right? Because that's somebody putting them together, right? Doja Cat does not know. Ice Spice just came on the scene, right? And then to have them together, right? I was like, that's intentional. So it was like, are a lot of these, because up until then, I was like, no, I don't know if she's an industry plant per se. Now, I sort of thought that she had to be in the industry somewhat, because sampling music is hard as fuck.
Facts.
And it's expensive. So the fact that she had a sample first, I was like, I could kind of see why she's an industry plant. But anyway, so we went through, and I was just like, all right, it's like, who's the first basically huge female star artist? Now I know we got Queen Latifah, we have Lil' Kim, we have Foxy
Nicki
Brown,
Minaj.
right? It's Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, it's not even close.
And so I was like, all right, let me look at the timeline of Nicki Minaj with the timeline of social media. Now, with social media, right? With if you look at Facebook makes their money from ads, but Facebook makes the majority of their money by selling our information, right?
Facts.
So, and they sell all of our information to like major corporations, right? Which includes the music industry. Now, I don't know what they seen, but if you actually look at Facebook was founded, I think was founded in 2004, right?
Okay, yeah,
or 2006, right?
That makes sense.
But it became like when Facebook actually really took off was when they bought Instagram. So I was like, okay, when was Instagram founded? Instagram was founded in 2010. Guess when Nicki Minaj album dropped? 2010.
Yeah, it had to
right?
drop around there.
Facebook bought Instagram in 2012. All right. Nicki Minaj Pink Album 2 dropped in 2012. Tinder was also founded in 2012. That was like the rise of women really being able to take advantage of equity, inclusion, and
maybe,
equality.
I don't know about women, just her.
Yeah, just her, right?
Yeah.
But Instagram, we know who runs Instagram right now, though, right?
Oh, facts.
Right? And it's like, so basically, the whole timeline of what we see when it comes to female rap aligns perfectly with social media. Now, this wasn't a deep dive, right? I'm not actually saying that correlation equals causation, but what I am saying is it's running neck and neck right now.
Facts.
So I'm not mad at that argument no more. Y'all might be right. Like, all this might be direct industry plants based upon what they read with who drives social media.
Do I think these ladies are industry plants? I don't. I do believe the industry will overpay to make you a ploy. So somebody, Suki still ain't made it musically. If y'all don't know, Suki, the only thing she do is have sex on camera, and she's trying to do music now, and her music is finally getting somewhere because now you have the Sexy Reds of the world, right?
Yeah.
Sexy Red.
How did Sexy Red hop ahead of Suki?
I'm trying to look. This is why I say they not.
Yeah.
Sexy Red got famous because Tay Keith had a beat that was for a rapper.
Yeah.
That rapper, he didn't think that beat was going to, and this is all speculation, but if you look, Pound Town is actually, there's a Pound Town and then there's a Pound Town male version, and in parentheses it says the real version.
Yeah.
So I think Tay Keith just gave it to Sexy Red to be funny. And then, but the song just took off because what was supposed to happen, Sexy Red version was supposed to come out and that dude's version would come out.
Yeah.
That dude is no longer famous. Y'all do not know his name. You have probably not heard the song.
Wow.
Now Sexy Red has to put out music, and now we're here, right?
Yeah.
So then we look at somebody like Ice Spice. It is known Ice Spice was in, these girls, this is what I think will happen. And you can apply to Ice Spice. I believe, my personal belief is these girls get in these studio with these producers who love to have women in the studio because they need to know if it's hot.
Yeah.
Right? Because you need the girls like Ice Spice to dance and say whatever. I believe these girls be like, oh, let me get in the booth and say something. Next thing you know, they press up the song and these dudes get mad. You don't believe me? Let's go look at Cardi B. Let's look at Ice Spice. Let's look at I forgot who else is the other girl. Like, it's known as, that's why they don't never have a second follow-up single. And then the labels are now going to these producers fighting with them like, yo, I need that beat. And the producer's like, I'm not selling my publishing away.
Yeah.
You got to run my shit with my tag. Or I own all of it.
I mean, in her hood, that's a bop.
Look, it is.
That is a bop.
But and so you got that. And so when I look at Suki, I don't even take Suki. Suki literally performed on stage with her titties out and people's on their phones. You not get me that. I've seen Suki throw up whilst giving head. I'm not paying attention to none of this. It's on Reddit. That's not what I'm into, by the way.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to follow or not follow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know. Like, do I want to see this or like? I don't even know. Like,
and so,
good Lord.
So then I look at who I believe is industry plants. You know who I believe is an industry plant?
Who?
That white girl Bobby who been interviewing everybody famous.
Oh yeah, that has like two completely different. Okay, first off, how does she get these?
That's what I mean.
She's absolutely a plant.
Yeah, because
and low key, I think the chick Pearl. I think Pearl's an industry plant too.
I don't know if I know Pearl.
Pearly Things, the one that did like would take a lot of Kevin Samuel. The one that had the Nick Fuentes thing that that almost got her canceled or whatever. Yeah,
like,
I think she
bro, because I look at somebody like Bobby, and I think y'all weirdos. Bobby is a 40-year-old married woman.
She's
she looks
40?
Bro, they make her look 17 on purpose because I think some of y'all get off on that young girl
weird.
shit. Exactly. And so somebody who's randomly on TikTok suddenly is getting her second interview is Drake, and then Mark Cuban's the follow up. She just did one with Offset. She has an interview with Shaq. Like, bro,
now I got to put this in the notes. I got to look her up now,
bro. Like that to me is industry plant shit. Like it's like, oh, we doing that.
Can we be an industry planters? Something. If you listening to this pod,
look,
plant us, please.
Like I told one of my clients who I did a photo shoot with last week, I signed NDAs. just send it over.
Make us I'm not voting for Trump though.
Facts.
I'm not doing that.
I can't do that because I can't go back home.
Yeah, barely want to vote for Joe Biden.
So let me ask you this: who benefits off of it? Because whether we agree or not, disagree, if they industry plant somebody, I do believe the industry comes in and say, "Yo, time to exploit this person."
Who benefits from it? I don't know. I mean, again, I think when it comes to culture, I think African Americans have shown themselves to be culture pushers. Time and time again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think but we don't own anything, and I think that becomes a problem. But we are the solutions based individuals, right? I mean, take the biggest brand in the world, right? Biggest brand in the world would be Coca-Cola, right?
Okay.
And like Coca-Cola is it actually like there is a cola nut, right, that comes from the continent,
yes,
of Africa, right? Like that is an African to America type, thing that happened, right? We don't own it, right? You take all the music in the world, right? It's pretty much like the culture's ours. Like, I mean, even if they want to argue like, oh, okay, Afro beats is not African American. Well, like, it actually like it came out of hip hop, right? Like the beats became popular when they started doing the 808s, and the sound and the beats per minute, right?
Absolutely.
That's when it became popular. So when you say who benefits from it, I think everybody benefits from it except for African Americans.
Facts. Yeah, I think that's interesting, man. And all the female rappers, y'all gotta stop fighting because I gotta add all of y'all names to my list of women don't like women, and I'm getting tired of that shit. To my Drake show recap. As everybody know, I went to the show last Friday. And I'm officially here to tell y'all, when you watch the MTV Awards and they bring out like the hip hop artists and they show the crowd and nobody knows the songs and it's just white people drunkenly just bouncing up and down. And we be like, damn, like why the crowd not into this?
Yeah.
That's what the Drake show was like. Drake is so much of a pop star that some people, social media, and we're going to get to social media next. Some people just want to be near heat and fire. Yeah. And when I say heat and fire, like, yo, this is the popping thing to do this past weekend. If you between the ages of 18 and 25 was to be at the Drake show, right?
Gotcha.
And so what happened is when all those people, especially if they have a large amount of resources, and we can guess which race has the most resources, they show up in droves and they pack out an arena. And Drake has to play Crew Love, which came out. I'm guessing 2010 when, we remember when
Take I used to be a Drake fan. I'm honestly not really a Drake fan anymore.
Yeah, well, bro, when everybody know Crew Love, that Drake is where he is in his career, that there's certain songs he should put the mic down and the crowd should sing the whole thing from start to finish.
Yeah.
When you do Crew Love and it's silent in the arena, and I look over because me and my wife going crazy, and I look over and I asked a young lady, she was a pretty young girl beside me. I said, yo, y'all ain't singing? She said, this is my first time hearing this. When Drake goes to Marvin Room, and I look down at them and they said, what is this?
That is crazy.
I'm like,
but you know what? If they're 23 though, I mean, if they're 23, when these songs came out 13 years, they were 10.
They was 10, and so I get that. But I'm like, yo, why do y'all have $600 tickets a piece then?
But I mean, and again, to that point, that's probably why they're Drake fans now, and I'm not a Drake fan because what he's playing for them now is actually what they want to listen to. Yeah, what people like myself wanted to listen to would be like the older stuff. And so I'm giving that. Yeah.
Shout out to all the gay men that wrote me, right? And I gotta specify because it was only them. They said, "Yo, Drake or Beyonce." I am here to tell y'all, don't compare nobody to Beyonce ever again, dog. I think there's a beauty in Beyonce being able to say, hey, I'm going to get my niche of people to come out pack it out, sing every word, and pay crazy prices. And I think that is something that that's something that we strive to do, right? We want our people to say, no, we're going to pack out. I was telling somebody, I said, all right, Drake could have did one stadium tour, right? Yeah. He did 2 nights in Charlotte, so that proves to me you could do a stadium tour. Yeah. But for Beyonce, say I don't care what city we going to. If it ain't a football stadium, don't call my name.
I need 50,000.
I need 50,000 minimum to sit. Like we gonna do this. No. Okay, cool. Oh, we need 3 days at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Good
cool.
Lord.
Like I don't think people understand how crazy that is on a Monday.
Who's the biggest star? Beyonce, Rihanna, or Taylor Swift? Who's the biggest star?
That might be Taylor Swift. I don't know, bro.
Really?
Yeah. Taylor Swift might be. She's there, dog. Like I don't think people understood until Beyonce numbers started coming back. Taylor Swift and Beyonce both supposed to be doing $1 billion this year in tours.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's why.
I know one Taylor Swift. I would know it if I hear it.
I don't know not one.
Yeah, Purple Haze is a.
Well, here's my problem with going back to your Ice Spice. Why is Taylor Swift and Ice Spice on a song together?
Really?
Bruh, Ice Spice is the first female rapper to debut at #1 because she was on a song with Taylor Swift.
Shut the hell up.
Yeah, I mean, that proves your...
Good Lord. I gotta Google this shit now.
Yeah, bro.
What? Absolutely a plan.
It was a debut at #1. She's
Ice
Spice is the...
Taylor Swift. No fucking way.
Yeah, bruh. I don't even know what the song sound like because I was like, I'm not listening to this shit.
No, bruh.
Yeah, bro. They got
came
a whole
out in
song.
May.
Why you think they was at the VMA sitting by each other?
This is crazy.
They should never have met in their lives, but that's what the industry does. So, but to go to the Drake thing, that was just an interesting show. It was cool. It looked cool. The boy that's a part of the show looks like Drake. Drake did his thing, and I like that he walked through the crowd. Kind of dangerous, but he did it. And shout out to all the broke baddies that made their way from the top all the way to the floor. It is amazing seeing how y'all pulled that off. Usher gonna be at the Super Bowl, so the 49ers gonna meet Usher there.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh my god,
absolutely best team in football. Ain't even close.
Look, I need Debo to do his thing this week.
I need to go ahead and put some money on 49ers right now.
You better
win the Super Bowl.
Look,
my odds are dropping.
Look, absolutely, because the way it's looking, man. Everybody getting hurt in football, man, and it's
because they play in the preseason and the regular season.
Bruh,
that's the problem.
Shout out to my fantasy football team. We are 3-0. If you,
shit.
Hey man, shout out to I gotta shout out Keenan Allen last week for getting me 49 points. I don't want to do too much football because I don't know shit about football. If you the Dolphins, do you go for the record?
You know what? So supposedly that was actually him in the stands, but fans picking plays.
Bruh. If that's true,
I do not believe that yet.
I don't.
I was told that was true.
If it's true, bro.
If that's true, you might as well went for the record.
You might as well.
You might as well went for the record.
If that is true,
because that's disrespectful,
bro.
I have not confirmed that yet, but like
I gotta slap you.
Yeah, like if I confirm that, yeah, you go for the record,
bro.
But no, I think it's classy to not set the record. But if I gotta verify if he actually let fans pick plays.
I need one fan to lie and say, "Yo, I actually picked the last running back play."
And we only plus 600. I can't take those,
bro. I will slap the fire out of you. If I gotta go find him. I go for the record for one thing. If the reason why I go for the record, it's cool to be in the record books. I think some people don't understand what that is. Like, I understand though, being humble. All right, that shit cute and all. That shit don't pay no bills. That shit don't get you nowhere, bro. Being able to, when they tell the game of football and they say the highest scoring game of all time, you want it to just be you. You know, Steph Curry saw that it was 5 players right there who scored 12 threes in one game. Guess what he did? He went out there and got the record. Now, they will never show Kobe and J.R. Smith having the NBA record for most threes in a game. You don't show them two no more. You show Steph Curry only. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I would have went for it.
They said it was a lookalike in the stands, but
I still gotta fight.
But the people in the comment section are saying no, it's him. It was a look. It had to be a lookalike. Ain't no way. That would be hilarious.
What if he called Future and asked Future for plays?
Oh man, he could call Future for no plays.
Future,
and plus Future's son is learning how to play quarterback from NFL quarterback. So I ain't mad at Future for this.
Look, I got it out the field. Fuck Russell. Future. I'm here to say it, buddy. If you got Tim's pregnant, they gonna whoop your ass, and I'm talking about black women.
Yeah, I don't think Tim's. I think Tim's is smarter than that.
Me too, man. But I hope Future got it, man.
I think Tim's will be good, for Future today. I love Tim's. Gosh, I love her music.
Yeah, ain't she pretty?
Yeah,
she fine.
Me and Gavin got an argument about this.
She is fine. She is.
Look, this is what fine means, right? Because Gavin got an argument about this. Fine means that a woman is attractive in the face with a great body, right? That's fine.
Okay.
Right. Doesn't mean that she's a 10. It just means that attractive in the face and a nice body.
Can you tell me on air who you think is a 10?
I don't know, man.
Or closest to it.
That's put me on. That's really put me on the spot. I damn. Who is it? Who would I say is a 10 close to it? I can tell you like people who used to be no, I can't do that.
Oof,
Good Lord.
Golly. All right, next topic, man. Let's talk about these dumbass kids. God dang, man. See what happens when people try to get from under the bus. They just let the shit roll.
Nigga, stick to the outline on the goddamn board, man. We get freelance under this shit.
Yo, my homeboy is a 7th grade teacher. One of y'all kids, y'all need to do some. He needs a tutor. I'm put it like that.
All the kids need a tutor.
All these kids need a tutor.
All the kids,
bruh. He's a 7th grade teacher. He asked the kid. He gave out a piece of paper. It says, "Where's your favorite place to eat?" The kid said, "Pizza."
Yeah.
He said, "Are you allergic to anything?" The kid said, "No." Then the kid proceeded to write, "I don't eat carrots. ION. Eat carrots." And you told this to your teacher, bruh. But we know why kids are like this.
Yeah, I said this years ago. I mean, just shows you how the country really don't give a fuck about Americans in general. Is that when COVID hit, I was like, yo, everybody under the 9th grade needed to repeat. Everybody, including 9th graders. 9th graders downward needed to repeat, period, point blank. Like, you had to start those kids back over in that grade level. And then above that, just let them test out. But if you would have did it to everybody, nobody would have been ashamed. And dude, I'm telling you, there's no child that was at home. Bro, we were in class and we didn't pay attention.
Facts.
The hell you think I'm doing at home? I am not paying attention, man. And you have 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds that have the attention span of a fruit fly, trying to watch a Zoom and learn, right? And then you're like, oh, well, they're home with their parents. Guess what we were all doing? Working. We were working, right? It ain't like we were not home. Look, if the whole country would have just like, yo, stay home with your kids and you can raise them and, teach them schoolwork, yeah, we might have been all right, but that didn't happen. Everybody should have been held back. And like now, so I saw the TikTok, probably the same TikTok you seen with a guy like, yo, we just passing these kids along. Doesn't matter how many zeros that I put in here. And, and like low key, I get what he's saying. I get his frustration. But here's the thing though, like, yo, we had a solution and we absolutely chose the wrong thing per usual in this country. Like,
what's your favorite saying about the country?
America will always do the right thing after they've tried everything else. And it's like right now we're trying everything else in this country instead of doing the right fucking thing. Next.
I told y'all, and shout out to my boys. They never believe me because I'm the youngest one in our group chat with Mike. I told them these kids have bad social skills, and we all know that. Yeah. But for me to be a photographer and watch girls going to prom who have never tried on heels before, or girls saying, "Oh, I'm wearing Air Forces to prom." I didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, y'all going on dates with dunks on. Like, you dressed up with dunks. You know what I'm saying? Or boys don't, they got a suit and no shoes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which used to be reserved only for white boys at church, which used to be funny. That used to be their thing. They get away with it. But like, it's throwing me off, right? And I realized like, damn, they miss so much. And another thing is, shout out to Laws. Y'all don't hear him no more in the studio since we moved. But Laws is an English teacher, and I was talking to him about like, yo, how's it going? And he said, bro, the parents don't care. They don't show up. The school that they teach at, bro, they have Narcan in the office.
That's crazy.
Think about that. Yeah. Some of y'all got to think about what that means.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, that's crazy, dude. And you think about, damn, you got kids needing Narcan in the 10th grade, the 11th grade, the 12th grade. Come on, son. Like that. But then, I'm listening to some, I'm hanging out with him and his other teacher friends are there. And they're talking about, oh, I told a parent that his son comes to my class every day, high, going to sleep. And his dad was like, oh, I don't care, man. Like, I just need him to show up. One young lady, she said, I called one of their parents and I said, hey, your daughter's skipping my class. She said, since that first call, her daughter has not returned to my class. And I know the mom is just like, don't care. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like that. And then it's like the country should have did that because now these parents, they know their kids not educated. They don't care.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why I'm 100% for like delineating and retribing, because all these people are going to be in the real world, the next 10 years.
And my kid got to deal with y'all.
Like all of them going to be in the real world. Like our kids going to be, at the beginning of adulthood. And I really would like for us to be able to at least create an insulated, bubble between us and the stupidity that's going to be occurring
and you stupid,
in the next decade.
You stupid motherfuckers is not getting $15 an hour at Bojangles. With the way y'all acting now, I can't justify it.
Man, we're going to have to pay them, but yeah, they ain't earned it.
The girl told me at Bojangles, she said, we only got a ham biscuit and a sausage and egg biscuit. I said, what? She said, we out of business. That was her words.
Yeah,
I said, yo,
we out of business.
I said, yo, it's 8:30 in the morning. She said, huh? I said, oh my gosh, like I can't give y'all that. Y'all forget my napkins, my straws, my condiments. You don't make the sandwich correct.
The worst thing they did with drive-thrus is make it so you can't leave them hoes.
Oh, that was genius on their part.
Yeah, that was genius. I can't, because like, yo, like real talk, like if I'm at a window and it's like so here's the biggest thing. If I go to a drive-thru and I have to wait like longer than like 5 minutes, I leave because I already know y'all fucking up in there. Yeah. Like I already know you fucking up, right? Like there's no fucking way. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is like, yo, if I place an order and they mess it up twice, I leave. Like, I don't even want it. I don't even want it anymore.
Facts.
But I do think y'all got to get $15 an hour. Y'all got to make more money.
Man,
like inflation is through the roof, man. We got to pay people more.
Y'all better go to Chick-fil-A, and they ain't hiring too many dummies unless they're at the one at Davis Lake in Charlotte. Travis Kelce no longer with what's the old girl name?
Kayla Nicole
is throwing y'all in a tizzy.
Y'all was quite embarrassing on the internet this weekend.
Absolutely,
y'all was quite embarrassing.
So for those who not know, Travis Kelce is a white guy who black women invited to the cookout.
He's greatest tight end in the NFL right now.
Right now, yeah.
Right
he might be. He's definitely top 3 of all time. I
said the best.
Yeah, he is the best,
yeah,
he top 3 of all time, right?
Yeah, I mean you could argue top 3, but top 5 at worst.
At
right?
worst,
yeah, at worst, right? I
He's
mean,
great.
You go Shannon, Antonio Gates, Gronk. Travis Kelce, he's right there in that conversation.
Tony Gonzalez is there? Yeah. So that would be the pantheon of all-time great tight end. Absolutely.
So
he's a future Hall of Famer. Tight end, but black women invited him to the cookout because he dated one of them.
He I think he had a show. I think he also had. Anyway, he was invited to the cookout. He was not invited by us.
By black men, no.
But he was invited to the cookout.
Yeah, and we're glad he here.
Yeah, and now he's moved back to his side of the field. And
black women are mad that a white man is dating a white woman.
Think pieces galore on the internet this weekend. Bruh. And I was just like, y'all gotta chill. Because I had homegirls like sitting to me, and I was just like, I mean, y'all acting like he's dating like Taylor from the grocery store.
Absolutely.
He's like Gavin just told y'all, like Taylor Swift is as big as Beyonce. No, bigger maybe.
Right? Yeah, she ain't my favorite. I'm just saying when it comes to numbers, she's up there.
So Travis Kelce is going from someone that's an Instagram model, I'm guessing, to a woman that paid $20 million cash for a mansion. This is not a downgrade. This is an upgrade.
My favorite line was Travis Kelce traded in his life to get his bills paid for a girl who is a bill. And I was like, that lets me know what type of time it is. Kelce was a bill. You traded her, or what is it? Kayla, whatever.
Kayla was a bill.
She was a bill. You traded in for a lifestyle where you get your bills paid.
Yeah. I am not mad at Travis, because here's the thing: if you're Travis Kelce, where do you go from here, right? If you have access to Taylor Swift, right, as a guy, right, like he's a white guy, as a white guy, right. Where do you go? You're a 6'5", 235 pound, extremely in shape, extremely wealthy white guy. You have access to a slim 5'11", blonde, right? Like Taylor's cute. I wouldn't say she's a 10, but she's attractive, right?
Yeah. You
have access to this, right? Like, Travis Kelce needs to be doing everything in his power to marry Taylor fucking Swift.
Absolutely.
There would be like in his community, there's nothing above Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it's not.
Like, where else would you go? Like,
because the other two people married.
I can't.
You talking about Rihanna and Beyonce?
Yeah, that's what, exactly. Like, I'm not mad at Travis Kelce for this. And let me say, like, let me read you some of these think pieces that are going on this weekend.
I love them too.
The reason as to why a black woman dates outside of her race is totally different as to why black men date outside their race. The two cannot be compared. The sooner you guys get that, the sooner you'll stop with but it's okay when you do it debates, right? 894,000 views.
God dang.
Right? Like, here's the thing. I'm 100% date whoever you want to date. My grandma had a saying. My grandma, she used to say,
they can't use your comb, don't bring them home.
No. My grandma actually used to say, baby, if you can sleep with them, I can eat with them. Now,
okay.
When I was a kid, I thought she meant like taking a nap, right?
Yeah.
Now that I'm older, I'm realizing my grandma should have never said that shit in front of a goddamn 6-year-old.
My grandma told me, be careful who you lay down with because you don't know what you're getting up with. And I just thought that meant like they sheets was dirty or some shit. Because they tell you this shit when you a kid.
Thinking of fleas, right?
They tell you this when you so young and they keep repeating it until you realize what the hell. And I was like, huh?
And so I agree with my grandma. If you can sleep with them, I can eat with them. I don't care. I do not date. Whatever works for you, date whoever loves you. But y'all with these think pieces of Travis Kelce doesn't like, black women, and y'all having these think pieces that like black women should date out of the race more. If that's how you feel, like real talk, if that's how you feel,
do
it and leave educated black men alone.
Fact.
Like because that is the creme de la creme of our community. If you believe that, leave educated black men alone.
Y'all already know how I feel. Y'all love asking me, oh, black women, blah, blah, blah. All right. Y'all can have it. I don't give a fuck. Because I married who I married because I wanted to. Did not care. I do think I probably should go see a therapist so we could talk about this, but I'm never doing. I mean, I'm not saying never, but it is what it is. But
just use her EAP.
Huh?
Use her EAP at work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just use an EAP.
Because I think there's a conversation to be had. Because like we said about the chicks who go get saved and come to church and want the dude who they've been curving, I think there is a conversation of saying like let me put it like this. There are definitely some black men out there who do not like black women. Let me tell y'all something. As a black man who is married to a non-black woman, you'd be surprised how many black women come up to me and they explain why they do not like black men, and then they think it's okay. I've never had a black man who I know don't date black women come up to me like, hey bro, I don't date sisters. I've had plenty of I'm telling y'all this. I've shot them. I've hung out with these ladies once, because after you tell me that, it's no need of us communicating again. But it's like they letting me know, yo, I only do white boys. It's whiter
I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing is like, yo, leave the good dudes alone.
Yeah.
Man. Because like, you come over here and you're holding these men to a way higher standard, putting them through way more
than what they need
to be. So it's like, yo, if that's what you want to date, feel free. Travis Kelce, I hope you bag Taylor Swift, bro.
Me too. And if you don't, then I'm sure there's other white women in the sea.
Or black women, whatever.
Well, black women, because this is what nobody don't want to say.
Whatever floats your boat, find your lost remote.
Let me tell you all this. He leaves Taylor Swift. He still got his salary. He still got, he's probably saved money. Let me put it like that. Yeah. But here's the thing. He can always go back to homegirl. You think she ain't picking up his phone when he call her back?
I think she with Michael Parsons now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, I think she with Michael Parsons now.
Ah, man.
Yeah. That's probably why he played like shit. Because, I mean, if your ex dating the biggest star in the world, you probably got to distract yourself like hell.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine, like, your ex starts dating, like, the top motherfucking in they field?
Then I got to block her. That's the only reason why I keep my ex's access to my socials.
Man, like, bro, you be like, oh, my God. Like, why do I got to deal with this?
You don't keep in touch with your exes just to make sure they doing shitty?
I mean, see, that's the thing. Like, I don't even know like which exes are exes anymore, because like most of us are cool. So, and then like the exes that I'm not cool with, like I don't even think about them.
To be fair, and we're gonna figure out a way. Joe Budden, we definitely still in this for you. We're gonna put a disclaimer at the beginning of this podcast. All this should be jokes. I don't know my exes no more. I don't know what they doing. I'm pretty sure I'm blocked. Yo, everybody that has me blocked, I know you won't see this. I don't know why you have me blocked. I don't, because it is. And it is what it is. I wanted to do this. We're gonna do this quickly before we get out of here. I just wanted to let Mike know that Will Smith wrote a happy birthday to his wife. It was heartfelt. It was deep. It was lovely. And she posted a video of her and Tupac dancing to Will Smith's song.
Yeah. You know, real talk. All right. So at first, I was kind of like upset on behalf of Will because I was just like, God damn, Jada. But like real talk. She actually gave Will. This is actually strength for Will. I would son the hell out of her now. Like I really would. I'd be like, yo, I influenced y'all like that. Like y'all are dancing to my shit.
I don't think
y'all
that's how cucking works.
My Grammy.
I don't think that's how cucking works.
No, that's not how cucking works. But that's what I'm saying. Like, she actually like I would son. I'd be like, yo, damn, I did not know I was the reason that Tupac wanted to rap. Like I'd be like, wow.
You know, one thing I'm gonna give black women credit on. Y'all be in her comments now. They be firing her ass up.
Yeah. Finally, thank you.
Thank y'all. I think finally women are recognizing like, yo, you are a toxic motherfucker.
So low key, I do think that like women are recognizing that like some of them are like way toxic, right?
Yeah.
Like I do think that I do think that they're separating themselves a little bit and like, yo, I do the fun toxic shit, but some of y'all are like devastatingly bad. And it's causing men to not even look at us anymore. So I do think, like to your point, I do think the ladies are sort of being like, "Yo, we got to get away from the toxic chicks."
Yeah, some of y'all is doing too much. Like Carly Russell, when the AKA is gonna get rid of her?
Ooh,
I don't know.
We need to Google her.
Who they gonna get rid of first, her or Kamala? Kamala was in her kitchen, bro, holding a bag of greens.
A collard green backwards. Like, good Lord, woman.
It is.
Will you stop? Like, we are not a fucking costume, man. Like, yo,
bro.
Like, stop. We're not a costume,
bro.
Man.
That shit was hilarious.
Like, yo, y'all really, like, look. I'm not voting for Trump. But like Democrats, y'all are in trouble if they get a reasonable goddamn candidate, man.
Oh yeah.
Like y'all are in trouble. Like the only problem with Republicans is that there is no reasonable candidate on that side of the fucking aisle.
Absolutely.
They fuck around and get a reasonable candidate. Y'all are in real fucking trouble with this goddamn cosplay that y'all do. We do not give a fuck that you pretending to cook collard greens.
Bruh. And
you can't even make collards. She had like, it was half a bunch. That shit, you couldn't even make a bottom of a pan full of collards on that shit.
That shit was hilarious. I do have a hot take. I think that in his household, Will Smith is not the best rapper. I'm gonna say that right now.
You think Jaden is better than him?
Yeah, I think Jaden is a better rapper than Will Smith.
Oh man, I don't know. That is a hot take.
Yeah, y'all gotta let me know.
That would actually be a good argument for don't argue with me.
Yeah, and we need the kids to come on and tell us because we don't know. Look, man, what you got planned this weekend?
I don't really have anything planned, man. I'm pretty sure I got the kiddo this weekend. Football season is here. I'm in the house, man, until football season is over. Look,
that's how it is. I got 2 weddings this weekend. One group of people definitely listen to the pod. The other group, I don't know. I don't even know how they found me. So I take the money.
They've made a 49-minute Carly Russell movie that's being sold on Amazon Prime. Oh, excuse me. No, Tubi.
Oh, that sound about right. That sound fit. Oh, I already know what that's gonna be. I bet you Marlon Wayne's gonna be the
nurse
baby.
that saw a baby on the highway. Rent HD $1.99. Buy $4.99.
That is amazing. That is fast.
It is an argument between it whether or not this is on Prime or Tubi.
I pray it's on Tubi, and if it's on Tubi, y'all probably get some. Man,
I'm not paying for that shit.
They need to do the Brick Lady ones next, like, you know. But shout out to them. Didn't they get the temporary halt to the strike?
What strike?
To the writer's strike. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That'd be great news though, because this shit is trash.
This reality TV. There's a couple that just recently had a kid on reality TV who we would never be discussing, by the way. Me and Mike have made a decision never to discuss them by name. I do want to do a video to show y'all how y'all can block them on Twitter because my wife figured it out. So she doesn't know what's going on with them. Nothing told me that these 2 individuals was ever going to be decent or have ass parents to start off with. So the fact that they are the bottom of the barrel as far as parents go, not saying that they can't change it around, but when they change it around, we'll bring them up. But right now, we never talking about them niggas.
Never.
And I love how black men and women have come to agreement. That's one thing we've agreed on this summer.
We're gonna we just pretended they don't exist.
They don't exist. That is what it is, man. And with that, we're gonna holler at y'all next time.
Holler at your boy.
You know what I just realized?
What?
We did not intro this shit.
I did it like 2 minutes in.
Oh.
I like welcome to the Black Dad's Club. Hey, follow us on all platforms, by the way.
We gonna holler.
This ain't the most ghetto shit ever.